Will your CPF get stuck if you sell your house after the age of 55? Very common question, because in this newer generation, moving houses, upgrade, downgrade is so much more common. You know, my mom's generation, and especially a lot of my friends' parents also. I realized that they have stayed in the house for 40 years, 40 plus years kind of thing. But again, the newer generation needs to entertain this idea of moving houses. And this fear on how CPF work has arisen before because there's some confusion as to how the rules actually work. So in today's discussion, I'll be sharing with you exactly what you need to know if you sell a property after the age of 55. Will monies get stuck in CPF? Hi guys, welcome back. Let's start with this infographics from CPF directly. On the left hand side, CPF refund process when you sell your house, and on the left is before 55 and on the right is 55 and above, which is of course today's question. But let's start with before 55 first, which is easier. Before the age of 55, when you sell a house, whatever principal you've used from CPF, including accrued interest, will need to be refunded back when you sell your house. And as mentioned in the infographics, no problem, you can use this refunded CPF OA principal plus accrued interest for your next house. I've seen so many times comment sections also, CPF is stealing our profits, why accrued interest? And property advertisements will harp on it. After all, CPF is still your money, correct? Go back already, you can still use for next house, but it's the cash that people don't understand and get fearful about, and some advertisements play on it. Then another common complaint, HDB loan 2.6%, CPF accrued interest 2.5%. Wow, I'm paying double interest 5.1%. Singaporeans are screwed, etc. etc. Firstly, let's break the pie up correctly. If this is the property purchase, this is your deposit and down payment, correct? This one, what you use on CPF, there is accrued interest. But again, this is on principal, 2.5% accrued interest that you need to refund back to yourself. Then there's the other pie, correct? This is the one 2.6% because you have taken a loan, and in this case from HDB. And yes, in this situation, you have lost some money to interest costs. Real costs that is earned by HDB, or if you took a bank loan, that's earned by the bank. Someone that earns it. Whereas the principal part, again, that 2.5% accrued interest is just you paying yourself. So again, total misconception. Then another common myth. I must pay my CPF in cash if the money selling my house is not enough. Again, yet another myth. As long as you sell it at market price, you don't need to pay back your CPF if there's a shortfall from accrued interest. There are so many myths to work out together, and again, if you like a full discussion on it, leave in the comment sections or upvote on something like that so that I'll spend the time to make it for you. And I'm filming this late at night. Help me smash the like button so you can reach bigger audience together to share with them CPF concepts, retirement ideas, and investment ideas. Today in particular, we'll be touching about CPF. And this question again is, will your CPF get stuck when you sell a house after the age of 55? So if you're before the age of 55, if you downgrade, you sell a $1 million house and there's a loan of 200,000, you're left with 800,000, correct? You clear some stamp duty, agent cost, renovation, you're left with 700,000. You can actually fully pay your next house off with 700,000 if that is what you want. Clear about that? But there's something different, which is what we're trying to address for today, because retirement account comes about and CPF Life needs your money. So let's paint out the scenario. If you're age 55 and above, and if your retirement account is at full retirement sum, you can actually ignore all these concerns and fears. But again, still watch right at the very end. I'll be answering two very interesting questions. And what I mean by your retirement account is at full retirement sum if you are age 55 right now in 2025, that amount is 213,000. Reinforcing again, full retirement sum is different for each cohort of age 55. Say for example, you reach age 55 in 2020. That full retirement sum amount is $181,000 only. So once you have the full retirement sum, don't worry. You sell your house after 55, no difference to you in fact. But if you do not have the full retirement sum in your retirement account, pay attention. Because this is what the right hand side should explain. After you have refunded your principal and interest, you need to top up your retirement account to your full retirement sum from the refunded amount. That is first that takes place before any remaining refunds will go back to your OA. Very important difference. There's an intermediate step. You need to top up your retirement account to the full retirement sum from the refunded amounts. This gap needs to be cleared first because according to the rules, you need to prioritize taking care of your long-term retirement before budgets are going to your next house or for you to cash out, which I think makes sense also. So I'm in approval of this regulation. So in some situations, the gap could be quite big, and one of which is if you have pledged your property in the basic retirement sum scheme to draw out monies from the retirement account. And to clarify that, if you have done so, you realize when you sell your property, you need to refund this pledged amount also first. Fill the gap first. So basic retirement sum, BRS, I generally don't recommend it. Even for myself, who is comfortable with investing in the markets, I think I also won't entertain the idea of basic retirement sum, draw money out and I can invest. I think it's just micromanaging. I'd much rather focus the energy in finding new monies, making new monies, and investing whatever surpluses than to go and micromanage CPF life that much. There is benefits with having some assurance. At least that's my perspective, or at least that's what I recommend for private clients also. And if you like to pledge your house for basic retirement sum, very common question, take note again, it's done after your retirement account is created at age of 55 and above. You need to own a property with remaining lease that can cover you until 95. And if you want the steps to do so, you need to make an appointment with HDB and follow these relevant steps. So now let's illustrate the difference with numbers. Say for example, you have a gap to the full retirement sum of $100,000 and you sell your house right now at $1 million. With a loan balance of $200,000, you'll get $800,000, correct? Very similar to the situation we've described previously. You clear stamp duties, pay agent costs, renovation, you're left with $700,000. But right now, because you're above the age of 55, there's a retirement account created. Filling up the gap is the next step. What will happen is if this gap is $100,000, your $700,000, $100,000 will go towards retirement account first, and that leaves you with only $600,000. Take note again, your balance for the next house is no longer $700,000, but just $600,000 because that $100,000 needs to fill the gap. And if you like to cash out some money for retirement, you can count backwards. You cannot afford to fully pay a property that's $600,000. You have to buy something less if you want to cash out something for retirement when you downgrade. $100,000 gap to full retirement sum seems quite crazy, but if you think about it, maybe it isn't. Every year, full retirement sum is going up. I'm born in 1984, which means I'm age 41. By the time I reach age 55, my projections are that full retirement sum will reach $345,000. Only the orange bars, which is this year, next year, and the year after, is confirmed. All the rest is projected. And I have even left the CPF Life standard payout projection amounts over there for you to reference. And if you like, take a quick snapshot of this, and hopefully it can help you understand CPF a bit better. So for my cohort again, $345,000 is full retirement sum, and I'm fortunate to be earning quite well. Some of my schoolmates may struggle to hit full retirement sum, especially if they only have special account left in their CPF. How do I know about it? I've actually done before simulations. In this previous tutorial, can you get the full retirement sum with just median income? I found that CPF special account balance for someone who was on median income throughout, at my age, is going to roughly have about $73,000. On this trajectory, might reach $231,000 in his or her special account by the age of 55, which is still a good amount, but still short of the full retirement sum of $345,000. And that shortfall is about $114,000. Which means again, this gap to full retirement sum, what happens if the person sells a house after the age of 55? This $114,000 will need to be used first to cover the gap, the shortfall to full retirement sum. Can the situation be worse? Of course, there are many instances. What if there's some gaps in work, retrenchment, layoffs, or took sabbatical? Or what if he or she chose the self-employed route, didn't top out the CPF, etc, etc. You would see that the gap to full retirement sum could be $200,000 or more for some situations. So that's why I created this tutorial to explain when exactly the impact will be big and when exactly is just fear mongering. Hopefully you appreciate this sharing, and as always, smash the like button. And let me share with you two conclusions. The first is that getting to full retirement sum with special account is not quite easy, which means also try not to commit all your CPF OA to your home purchase. If you buy a home that's your max budget and you hope to downgrade in future when you're old, you would realize that even after downgrade, you may not be left that much after all. Worst part is, if you have overextended yourself, you may have actually been paying real interest costs along these years just because of a bigger mortgage, and that in itself would have harmed your own retirement. The second conclusion is that each and every one of us needs to think about building special account strategically. If you're not comfortable with investing, why not consider topping up special account? After all, it gives you 4% guaranteed, correct? Not just that, there's also tax relief of $8,000 when you do a SA top up. And what happens is that once you reach full retirement sum before the age of 55, you will be guaranteed of reaching full retirement sum when you reach 55, because special account compounds at 4% per annum, whereas full retirement sum grows at a much smaller pace. Then the question we are solving today of money is getting stuck when you sell your property after 55 becomes an invalid factor. I've described so much about CPF, refunds, top-ups, and if you have questions because you're confused, feel free to leave in the comments sections below. Now coming to this section, let me touch on two key questions to help you further understand this topic. And let me lead with the first one, which is, if I'm turning 55 soon next year and I'm on HDB loan, should I pay off my HDB loan now with my CPF OA, or wait until next year when I'm 55 and draw the surplus above full retirement sum to pay off by cash? Very interesting question. Think about it. HDB loan 2.6% interest cost, CPF OA 2.5% earn. Draw out surplus means he has above the full retirement sum, correct? Now this is my answer. If you're not too sure about investing, then why not consider paying off your HDB loan ASAP, which means actually now. HDB loan costs you 2.6%, which is 0.1% above what you're earning from CPF OA. Why not clear it off? That is real interest costs. Yes, there is going to be accrued interest, which is opportunity cost to you. But hey, firstly, if you're not selling a property, accrued interest is a moot point. Even if you're selling your house above the age of 55 and there's accrued interest, just now you mentioned that you have actually the full retirement sum, which means again, the amounts need not be drawn to a retirement account, but will flow back to your OA, which you can still choose to cash out. Hopefully this explanation brings a bit more clarity. Second question. Hey Josh, I have one HDB home and I have one condo rented out. I have no loans and I have 500,000 in OA with my full retirement sum already met. Should I sell my rented out condo for more liquidity? Think about it. No loans, which means property is fully paid. Cash flow positive also, maybe 2,000-3,000 at least per month. 500,000 in CPF OA, that is liquid, correct? Above the age of 55 and you have full retirement sum. So this is my answer. If you're again not too sure what to invest, why not consider keeping the condo instead of thinking of selling it? Unless of course there's some problems or some issues with it that I don't know of it yet. The first rule to take note again is, if you sell this current condo you're renting out and you buy another condo, you have to pay ABSD. Now at least your condo is cash flow positive and contributing to your retirement ready. So the point of selling it for liquidity, actually the CPF 500,000 is already liquid. What? Why is there need for more liquidity? In fact, there should be strong consideration moving some of this OA to your RA towards the enhanced retirement sum limit, so that you exchange liquidity, which you may have too much now, for future guaranteed cash flow by CPF Life. That is the real game of retirement. Not liquidity or cash, but cash flow. I've mentioned many times on this channel, cash flow is the king in retirement. And as always, if you like full retirement planning, look for my links below. I help private clients on a one-to-one basis build retirement income ladders, and these are thorny questions that I can help answer on a personal basis. These are some raving reviews I've received so far. Look for my links, and again, thank you for watching right at the very end. With that, I'll start from here and recommend you this previous video I have, which is can you actually get to full lump sum with just median income? If you've seen it already, check out this, which is Secrets of CPF Life Payouts. Hopefully either of these tutorials can help you further, and I'll sign off from here. Take care and goodbye.